For those of you who may or may not know, Ellen was recently put on the spot by a comedian on Twitter. He said he was going to donate X amount of dollars to a LA food bank, I believe, in exchange for Ellen stories, basically like Ellen basically being shitting on people at work. 2,000 tweets later, he's like, all right, well, that escalated. Lo and behold, the Warner Brothers, who is the parent company, Warner Media is now investigating Ellen DeGeneres because, according to a Forbes.com article, nearly a dozen former employees accused head writer and executive producer Kevin Lehman. I could be screwing it up. It's Leman, Layman or Lehman, of sexual misconduct, including groping, making sexually explicit comments, and behaving inappropriately at a company party. Well, the company party stuff, it is what it is, right? I mean, we all have stories of company parties where people get drunk, they dance, they act like assholes. Not excusable, but that could be on the borderline. Of course, he denies, much like Ellen, much like Dalia, much like I think every guy in the Me Too movement, he denies it. Multiple former employees accused executive producer Ed Galvin of being handsy with women and leading the team by creating a culture of fear and intimidation. Galvin did not comment. Of course he didn't. Why would you? In all, 36 former employees. 36 former employees. 36 have independently corroborated incidents of sexual misconduct, harassment by top producers. 36. Now, if you look at any of the Me Too cases, you look at any sort of case, when you got 36 corroborated instances, there's a systemic problem, right? There's issues. What the fuck is happening at Ellen that 36 people are coming forward with allegations of sexual misconduct? Right? Now, I don't know. If you put 36 allegations at NBC News, ABC News, right? If you put 36 allegations against Matt Lauer, somebody's being fired. Rightfully so. Brian Williams of NBC, he was the national news anchor for NBC News. He made some lies or embellished some stuff about him. I believe it was like being on a chopper in Afghanistan, or it was something along those lines. He lost his job, right? It had nothing to do with women. It had nothing to do with him and any sort of harassment. But 36 allegations? I mean, I'm going to be straightforward. I'm not the biggest Ellen DeGeneres fan. I don't watch Ellen. I don't really buy into it. I just never have. It's not my demographic. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my thing. Especially during Christmas when it's like the 24 days of Christmas with Ellen or whatever that is, where she gives away, I don't know, like what seems like millions of dollars a day, right? It's always a new car or a vacation package or whatever. It's not her giving it away, right? She's not paying out of pocket. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. She is such a cash cow for the network, for prime time, kind of like that midday 4 p.m. talk show. It would be tough, I think, for NBC to get rid of her, because I'm sure the advertising revenue is astronomical. But at the same token, you can't just ignore 36 accusations. So I don't know where you go from there. And of course, now Us Weekly, tabloid of tabloids, whether it's true or not, I want to bring it up because if it is true, it's kind of like, what's going on? What's going on here? So according to Us Weekly, she is pissed that people have come forward to share these negative stories about her and feels betrayed. The source continues, noting that the comedian, who's 62, feels like a target because of her success. If this is true, I gotta call bullshit because she's been out as a gay lesbian for quite some time when she had her sitcom, and she's been in the public eye for quite some time. So for the last 20 years, 15 years, all of a sudden people are jealous of her success. People get jealous of their success maybe when they work for you for 10 years and you treat them like shit. Or you give them unrealistic demands and say, you can't do this, you can't do that. Don't be in the hallway when I'm in the hallway. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me if you see me. You know what I mean? People get bitter and resentful for a reason. Typically. I mean, there's always going to be the outlier for sure. But typically, you've given people a reason. And it's much easier when you're rich and famous. When you're rich and famous, it's way, way easier to piss people off or make someone resentful or bitter or or any of those means, right? It's very, very easy. The Us Weekly article goes on to say she knows she can be tough at times, but believes she works hard and is extremely creative, and that it's a privilege to work for her and to be around her. Now, just reading that, I'm like, it's a privilege. Guys, it is a privilege for you to listen to me, to Eric. It is a privilege for you to listen to me. If I say that to you, you're like, right. Well, it's not. It's not a privilege. And I hate you. So that statement alone, acknowledging, yeah, it can be tough at times, but it's a privilege to work for me. It's like, is it? Is it a privilege? I mean, yeah, maybe it's a conversation piece at a party, but I mean, if you treat me like shit, I don't know if it's a privilege.